Hi, this is Rudy Jones of PalmettoStateBaseball.com. Welcome to the South Carolina College Baseball Recap for Wednesday, February the 25th. Before we get to the on-the-field action, a couple of off-the-field things. Coastal Carolina got some bad news Wednesday when they found out a couple of their pitchers are expected to miss at least 8 weeks with some injury issues. Cameron Fluky, the team ace, did not make it start last week. Now they expect him to miss about 8 weeks because of some issues with a stress fracture in his rib area. Also, reliever Hayden Johnson was hoping to be back soon, but he's expected to miss another 8 weeks with issues with stress in his elbow area. Hopefully those guys will be able to get back before the 8 weeks, but otherwise it's going to be a challenge for pitching coach Matt Williams and the Cougars and the Chanticleers to step up. Of course, they also lost reliever Dominic Carbone last week for the season with a Tommy John type surgery. So it's going to be a challenge. Of course, the Chanticleers are ranked nationally, and they hope to do well. They're going to be playing 3 of the top teams this weekend in a tournament down in Houston. So they want to try to get some good news, positive vibes going after that. Also, looks like we're going to be having some wet weather again this weekend. Seems like we've had it every weekend so far. Anyway, at least a couple of schools have already moved their games for Friday. Spartan Methodist has moved its scheduled Friday home game against Johnson to Sunday. They'll still play a Saturday doubleheader, and the same for the big Conference Carolina showdown down in Florence. The North Greenville Francis Marion game that was originally supposed to be on Friday will now be played on Saturday. The teams will play a doubleheader Friday game will be on Sunday. The teams will play a doubleheader on Saturday at Sparrow Stadium. That ought to be a big game. Francis Marion, by the way, has won 11 straight games. They're 14-1, and that is a school record for the best start since in school history. The last good start, the best start prior to this year was 2017 when they were 13-1. Well, on to the action on the field Wednesday. Queens jumped to an early 7-1 lead and held on to beat South Carolina by a score of 9-8 down in Columbia. It was the Royals' first ever win over a school from a Power 4 conference. Queens evened its record at 4-4 this year. Carolina fell to 6-3. Tyler Bach and Aaron Jamison had home runs for the Gamecocks, who committed 3 errors. Queens stole 5 bases, and really the Royals were the better team the whole game. It was not one of these fluke things. Carolina fell to 6-3 again. All 3 losses have been to non-Power 4 teams. Last year, Carolina did not lose a game to a non-Power 4 team. Now they've lost 3. With the Clemson series looming this weekend, Friday at Founders Park, Saturday at Segra Park, and Sunday at Doug Kingsmore Stadium, I would say that the Gamecock fans are not looking forward to this. Of course, in baseball, anything can happen. But for something like that to happen, Carolina's going to have to play a lot better than they have been so far. Clemson, of course, is 8-0. They did not play Wednesday after turning back PC 6-2 on Tuesday. How about elsewhere? Down in DeLand, Florida, Henry Zener doubled in the go-ahead run in the 7th inning, and USC Upstate held on to beat Stetson 2-1. 5 Spartans pitchers combined to pitch a 2-hitter in that game. Upstate 6-4. Zener was joined by Johnny Sweeney in having 2 hits apiece for the Spartans. Over in Fayetteville, North Carolina, East Carolina and College of Charleston played a neutral site game at their Segra Park. Jacob Amon hit a grand slam home run to cap a 5-run 8th inning for the Cougars to tie the score, but East Carolina got a run across in the bottom of the inning and held on to win by a score of 8-7. The college fell to 3-6 with that loss. Elsewhere, UNC Wilmington got a leadoff home run from, I have to check his name, Danny O'Brien to lead off the 11th inning, and the Seahawks held on to beat Charleston Southern by a score of 11-10. That snapped Charleston's school record 7-game winning streak to open the season. Trevor Lucas had a pair of home runs for the Seahawks. Charleston scored a run in the 8th and 2 in the 9th to force extra innings, but they could not get that, make the comeback happen. Alex Marat had a hit, drove in 3 runs for the Buccaneers. Elsewhere, down in Due West, Erskine scored 3 runs in the bottom of the 8th inning, the tying run on a wild pitch, the next 2 runs on a throwing error on the plate, and held on to beat Lander by a score of 10-8. That moved the Flying Fleet's record to 5-10. It snapped a 5-game losing streak for Erskine. Lander fell to 9-6. They've lost 2 straight games. Drew Potts had 2 hits and drove in a run for Erskine. Elsewhere, Lenore-Ryan improved to 10-1 with an 11-8 win over USC-Aiken. The Bears are 10-1. They are ranked nationally. USC-Aiken tied the score late in the game, but Aiken broke the tie with Lenore-Ryan broke the tie with a 2-run homer in the 8th by Silas Boris. USC-Aiken fell to 11-4 with that loss. Elsewhere, in the junior college ranks, Brunswick Community College, a Division II power, beat USC Sumter twice. First game score was 12-8. The second game score was 11-3. The Dolphins of Brunswick are coached by former Clemson player Robbie Allen. They are 10-2 this year. They were number 20 in the Junior College Division II preseason poll. They've not put out a regular season poll since that time. Sumter fell to 9-4 with those 2 losses. Elsewhere, USC Union got a pair of wins over the Francis Marion Junior Varsity team. First game score was 7-5 as the Bantams scored 5 runs in the third. And in the second game, Union won 18-0 and held the Francis Marion JV hitless until the final inning in that 18-0 score. Union improved to 10-4 on the season. I'm going to double check. 10-4, yeah, on the season. Elsewhere, USC Lancaster won for the 7th time in 8 games with a 9-1 win over Robeson Community College. John Dober pitched 3 innings and struck out 6 in that game. Also, Justice Knight was 3 for 4 with a double, 2 runs scored, and 2 RBIs for the Lancers, who are now 9-6. Florence Darlington Tech scored 8 runs in the 5th inning and had 14 hits to run rule Southeastern Community College by a score of 15-3. B.J. Balls drove in 4 runs for the Stingers, and Jackson Sionic added a homer and 3 RBIs. Also, Jacob Brown was 3 for 5 with a run scored and 2 RBI. That is it for the scoreboard for Wednesday. Denmark Tech was supposed to play a doubleheader at Trinity Christian, but that game was canceled, or that doubleheader was canceled for some reason. And there's only one game on the schedule for Thursday, or one meeting a doubleheader on the schedule for Thursday. Doubleheader between South Georgia and USC Salkehatchie starting at noon in Allendale. Only games in. For now, this is the state scoreboard for Wednesday, February the 25th. You can always get updates throughout the season at PalmettoStateBaseball.com. I'll have more updates on schedule changes as they come this weekend, or if they come, on my X account of Palmetto Base. You can look at the Palmetto State Baseball group on Facebook to get more information as well. Let me know at Rudy Jones at PalmettoStateBaseball.com what you'd like to see me do in my coverage of college baseball in the state. I appreciate you watching this. Let your friends know about PalmettoStateBaseball.com if you think it's something they would like. But for now, this is Rudy Jones of PalmettoStateBaseball.com saying good night. Jesus loves you.